Two. Warming up, lunch break show. Crazy Legs, Rock Steady Crew. Jason Cho in the house. Shout out to the shout out to the TBB Rockin' Crew. Where you going to? Zulu Nation, 6th anniversary tape, 1981. Zulu Nation, sure shot. Warming up right now. I am your boy, B-Boy, Crazy Legs, Rock Steady Crew. Here we go. Just to be clear, there is a situation going on within the B-Boy community, so for those of you that are not part of it, bear with me for about 4.5 minutes, and we'll get right back to the music. Now here's the deal. Once upon a time, I lost contact with a lot of members of Rock Steady Crew that had either stopped or just gone on to lead different lives. During that time period, we kept doing things and kind of a lot of things that I never knew as a kid were kind of up in the air to try to figure out. That having to be the history of Rock Steady Crew. Several years go by, 90s come around, and bump into JoJo, what I had believed to be one of the founding members of Rock Steady Crew. So, he comes back in the mix, and he comes out and gives me this made-up history that I ran with, and I felt was, you know, whatever. I mean, it kind of sounded sensational, but, and you know, he took some creative license in writing it, but I ran with it, giving him the benefit of the doubt. Because there was no one else around like Jimmy B, Jimmy Lee, any of the original members of Rock Steady to be found at the time. Fast forward years later, you know, put him on stage, give him a platform, let people know JoJo's around, blah, 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 all these things going on. Giving him props for what I believe to be true in terms of his history in Rock Steady. Now this isn't to take away from his actual contribution to Rock Steady, being a member, being one of those frontline warriors. That's all cool, much respect, much love for that. Always credit for that. I will not try to take credit from the brother for any of his accomplishments. But when it comes to the history of Rock Steady Crew, I was misled. Because eventually I went to go check out my man Jimmy Lee. He had told me, yo, he was the original vice president, he was the founder of Rock Steady. Then a couple of years later, a couple of years ago, I ended up speaking to Jimmy D. Jimmy D told me exactly how Rock Steady came about. And the way that happened was, this is the actual story. Him, Jimmy D and Jimmy Lee were going bombing, writing graph. And that night that they were going to go tagging, they actually didn't want to. They wanted to go practice. They wanted to be more B-boys than writers. So the next day, they discussed it, and they spoke with Batch, the original president of TBB, and they told Batch, hey, we want to start a crew, strictly B-boy crew, and we would like, to get your blessing, but at the same time, at that period, during that period, Rock Steady had vowed to always have TBB's back in case of any situations, battles or whatever, because Jimmy D and Jimmy Lee originally came from the Bronx Boys. What was ever in was TBB, the Bronx Boys. And as you can see, TBB has changed, because TBB has Chinese people now. So it's GBB, Chinese Bronx Boys. CBB. CBB. TBB. Anyway, Jason has a new restaurant in Providence, Rhode Island. I posted it up on the page today, so please check it out. He's a b-boy. I don't know how active he's been lately because I'm looking at the gut. Yeah, I think he's been working on the restaurant a lot more than dancing lately, yeah? Oh, not dancing? Okay. So anyway, this brother right here is a great representation of hip-hop, taking strides, and people in hip-hop taking strides to do things better as individuals and make things happen. So, him and his father have the restaurant up in Providence, Rhode Island. So much shout out to you, much love to you, much love to TBB crew. And this is Jason right here, y'all. Never